Hello, we welcome you all to the first episode of Building Resilience, where business leaders in the manufacturing space will discuss their strategies about investment in technology and what has worked for them. We'll talk about demand forecasting, collaboration among various departments, getting a unified view of customers, the stages of product development, and how innovation can help companies.
The guest speaker that we have here today. We have with us Mr. Abhinav Thakur, who has been part of Accurix Biomedical as the managing director since 2004. He's involved in strategic decisions like raising funds, investing in resources along managing the day-to-day business operations. He was recently recognized as the top 10 influential leaders in healthcare in 2021, top 30 medical healthcare marketeer in 2020-21, among a few other accolades. He's completed his bachelor's from University of California, then studied at NMIMS and Stanford University Graduate School of Business. Previously, he has also worked in California Diabetics Prevention Program in the United States. His expertise lies in business planning, sales, strategic planning, and business development in the medical device industry.
First of all, we would like to start with Abhinav sir. Sir, we have seen that a change in one region now has the power to change demand and supply globally, and the recent pandemic is a prime example of the same. What are the major challenges that you face during demand forecasting, especially in a volatile market condition?
Recent pandemic has taught us lessons that we have never seen or learned ever before in the past. For example, when the pandemic hit us, the supply chain was completely put to a stop. And not only that, the countries all over the world were trying to fight, trying to get the best of the resources, the limited resources that were available. So even though you were ready to make the payments, you were not ready to get the stocks because there was some other country that was outbidding and getting the resources at a better price. So this completely made people look at the supply chain in a different way. I'll give you an example, a classic example. If you look at the PPE kits, right? Before the pandemic, all the PPE kits in India were imported. Okay, India was importing all the PPE kits. And today, India has become an exporter of PPE kits. The same thing comes for masks, the face mask, right? We were importing the N95 face masks. Today, we have become an exporter of the mask. So there are many such other examples also related to the other products in the COVID-related supply chain. So all this has made us realize that we need to have supply chain close to us, supply chain which is more stable and we can depend on in the long term. Even though this has happened, the supplies is still very erratic because you might also still be depending on raw material from countries abroad. And what we have seen, we have never seen this kind of erraticness happening, especially when it happened in the second wave. Right? Since we are in the medical device industry, we just saw the demand suddenly going up so much that no one could have ever predicted, right? Whatever kind of softwares or predictions, I think everybody was blank. It's not only us, right? Even the health, entire fraternity, the health infrastructure wasn't sure that this kind of demand would be coming in. But having said that, like there are certain lessons we have learned that it is important to have your demand in real time. So in real time, we should know exactly what is our demand so that our production can be planned in real time. So that's something that now we have learned that you have to have your demand in real time. You have to have your entire order pipeline visible to your production at any point of time, even if it changes every hour or every day. So that's something we are keeping more strict control on inventory, right? So we have this inventory reports which we are reviewing even more regularly on which are the stock items which are getting high. So because of what happened was overbuilding of inventory, then suddenly having a stock out of inventory, completely going from one side to another side within a month. So these has taught us a lesson that keep your order pipeline in view, keep your inventory current inventory in view and keep reviewing it regularly, having red flags on how is it moving up or moving down in either way. So a more tight control on inventory is something that I think the pandemic has taught everyone.
Sir, what are the major challenges that you face when collaborating with large teams in your organization?
Right. Thank you. So living in Mumbai, I think this is a very relevant, pertinent question for us because in Mumbai, travel is usually large distances and takes a long time for people to travel to work. So I believe this hybrid model is really a very useful model because say somebody is traveling 3 hours a day, right, 1.5 hours to work and 1.5 hours going back to work. It's just not the time, but also the energy that is goes into the traveling. So that also takes an effect on productivity. So I think to have the best of both the worlds, you can't go either way. You can't go like, okay, I'll do like only I believe work from home, or you can do like I'll do only office. And you have to have a hybrid to have the best of both the worlds. So I think a hybrid model is important in those contexts. And another thing that I found really helpful for us when we were completely work from home is called a scrub meeting. So a scrub meeting is a concept where when people used to meet physically, there used to be a stand-up meeting. Okay, it's a meeting where you stand. There's no sitting in the meeting, and the reason you stand in the meeting is so that you spend less time in the meeting. So when you end up sitting in a meeting, you end up like getting comfortable and you stress the meeting. But when everybody's standing in the meeting, you eventually end up having the meeting in a much shorter time, to the point and exactly to the point what you want to discuss about. So these scrub meetings we started when I was work from home. So there's this daily meeting, which is just short, just 15 minutes. Because when you come to office, people get to connect in the office. They get to see each other. They get to shake hands. They get to meet, have tea, have lunch together. But this is missing when you're doing work from home. So having the daily scrub meeting, if you just go on Google and type scrub meetings, you get more information on it. Having this daily scrub meeting creates that kind of team bonding, which was not there when you're working from home. Because a lot of times, say you're working in your one particular department, you will not meet people from other departments for maybe weeks. But if you're in office, you'll meet them every day, right? And that builds that relationship. You know what is going on, etc. So when you have that daily scrub meeting, it helps to have that idea of what's going on throughout the company. And because everybody comes in, everybody from the head of the department comes in and discusses what they're going to do for the day. It's simple. They just come in, they discuss what they're going to do the day and what they did yesterday. That's it. There's these short things, and 15 minutes meeting is done. But that really helps to build the team. So I think this is one thing that going forward, we are definitely going to use. I highly recommend it to anybody who's planning to keep the hybrid model or keep work from home happening. And I think for a city like Mumbai, it's a great blessing because we can save a lot of time, a lot of energy, and have a hybrid model. In our case, we actually ended up saving rent also because we had 2 offices. So we gave up one office and we saved rent for almost 1.5 years for one of the offices. And we're working right now with one office in the hybrid model. So it's still sufficing us, and we are not falling short of office space. So I think it's a great model. Yeah, thank you.